Considering Pete crashed his motorcycle, got in a bar fight, and was thrown through a window, there's a potential for a lot of trouble. He's also so drunk, BAC of 0.24%. He won't answer questions or let you examine him. You could sedate Pete so he's easier to work with, but given how poorly alcohol and sedatives interact, you need a crash cart to keep him alive. Pete's arm has an open wound, so it's a priority. He won't let you suture it before 2 a.m., but you can dress it to give yourself a few extra hours before he becomes affected. He's also lost a lot of blood, so a blood transfusion or IV fluids will prevent an emergency at 4 a.m. At 2 a.m., Pete vomits blood. The gastroenterologist can help identify this as internal bleeding and suggest an endoscopy to determine if it's a stomach issue, which it is. Pete has Helicobacter pylori, which, aggravated by Pete's excessive drinking since his wife left him, has led to an ulcer. A heater probe during the endoscopy would be able to stop the bleeding. You should prescribe at least 2 antibiotics and something to reduce the stomach acid. I only give him 1. Once Pete has thrown up, he's more cooperative. It's worth performing a physical exam to see if there are symptoms you haven't identified yet. If you do, you discover the soreness in his chest and abdomen. An x-ray reveals a broken rib. However, there's not much you can do about this other than provide pain medication and advise him to take it easy. Unfortunately, painkillers and alcohol don't mix together. Even if you chose naproxen, there's Pete's ulcer to consider. Pete's safest bet is to tough it out until he's sober, which will be a while yet. Pete's case is an example of how conditions can mask each other. Certainly, the laceration, broken rib, and ulcer can account for Pete's level of pain. However, he was in both a motorcycle accident and a fist fight, either of which could have caused an internal injury, and they have. When Pete crashed his motorcycle, he landed hard enough to rupture his spleen. Pete needs an emergency splenectomy. You would need to advise the surgeon who has just come on shift about possible complications. Pete's high blood alcohol concentration, blood loss, and allergy to latex. Allergy to latex? Oh, it does say known allergies latex. I thought it said none this whole time. My bad. With this information, the surgery is a success. Nope. There's one last complication. If you sutured Pete's arm, story card 22, he told you that the man he was fighting cut his arm with a broken beer bottle. According to New York law, you must report a wound from a sharp object to law enforcement. See the legal section in research materials. If you do not, it's a Class A misdemeanor and you risk up to a year in prison. In addition to the human body, doctors must know the law as well. I'm going to jail!